Arthur Ravenel Bridge connecting downtown Charleston to Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, where we find ourselves at the ballpark at Patriots Point, as UNC Wilmington, the number 2 seed, will take on the number 1 seed of Northeastern. Northeastern a chance to clinch the CAA championship here tonight, as UNCW will look to stave off elimination by winning the game this evening, as we take a look at the Credit Union 1 tournament summary. As Northeastern wins, it's over. They are the 2025 CAA tournament champions, and if UNC wins, UNCW wins, we'll play tomorrow, an as-needed game.
Yeah, we've reached the final stage now. Just 2 teams left in it, and we should have known that it would be the 2 top teams in the conference all year for one more showdown.
We'll take a look at the recap. Northeastern got here thanks to a great outing last night by Jordan Gottesman. He went 7 innings, got 12 punchies, and it was the Northeastern offense late in the game in the 8th inning. They erupted for 7 runs and ended up run ruling the Seahawks in what was an 11-1 final for UNCW. The only hit of the game of note in that matchup was a solo home run by Brian Arndt, and they had to play today to get back to this point. And late in the game, a close call down the first baseline, fair or foul. We'll get into that a little bit more and give you a clearer breakdown for the UNCW fans still tuning in. And then that right there tied the game, and it was a hit by pitch with the bases loaded for a walk-off win, as the Seahawks staved off elimination and made their way to tonight's contest as a little rematch between themselves and the Huskies.
Yeah, just a really gritty effort by the Seahawks to get this far, as you see the batting order here.
Brock Wills will lead things off, followed by Trevor Lucas, Tanner Thatch, Brian Arndt in the cleanup spot, Aiden Evans, Kevin Jones, Alec DiMartino, Mason Hughes, and Matt Gillespie. Bazo behind the plate, Lane, Muzakia, Goodman, and Doyle in the infield. In the outfield from left to right will be Feinberg, Maldonado, and Garrity. On the mound for Northeastern, it will be number 6, Avon Cabral, the junior, 10-2 on the season with a 2.45 ERA. He's making his 15th start of the season in 80 2/3 innings. He's given up 64 hits, 22 earned runs, 13 walks, 69 strikeouts. Opposing batters hitting .215 off of him.
Well, he's hoping to follow the lead of the 2 Northeastern pitchers before him and have a great outing today. Cabral has had a great season, a big bounce-back year from last year, a big reason that Northeastern turned around their pitching staff and had the kind of year they have with 47 wins. Cabral actually came into the tournament tied for the team lead in wins. Will Jones has 11 now. Cabral hoping that by the end of today he'll match him.
Home plate umpire will be Brian Peterson. Brian Marine down at first, Randy Rosenberg at second, and Jeremy Crow at third, your umpiring crew for tonight. First pitch into foul territory coming at 5:03. 77 degrees here in Mount Pleasant. Clear skies up above, as the wind coming from the east at about 8 to 12 miles per hour.
Well, we see Brock Wills now the leadoff hitter for UNCW, the center of attention a couple hours ago with that hit. Was it fair or foul? But that was actually his 3rd hit of that game, as he has really been swinging the bat well this tournament for UNCW. And he was the only Seahawk to get a hit, too, off of Northeastern for the first 7 innings of last night's game.
Cabral goes with the fastball, strikes Wills out, 92 at the top of the zone. 1 away for Northeastern, and they have showed that they have been a complete team all season long, on the mound and at the plate. Cabral gets them started here as he blows the doors off of Wills.
Well, they know how to start off games and get their fans and their dugout pumped up. That's the exact same way it started last night with Jordan Gottesman, and now Avon Cabral has his turn.
First pitch to Trevor Lucas will miss outside, 1-0. Gottesman, a 1-2-3 as he struck out the side to start the ball game. Last night, you go back to the game against the College of Charleston for Northeastern, their first game of the tournament. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Will Jones as he went pop-up, fly-out, strikeout.
Good call. They've dominated the first inning, especially defensively, in this tournament. And really every inning after that.
Yeah, this is true. We've only given up, one run so far in the tournament. It was the solo home run by the cleanup hitter, Bryant Arndt, for UNCW. As Trevor Lucas, with a 2-1 count, sends this one out to right field. It'll drive the right fielder back to the wall, and he will actually have to jump in and make the grab. Went back too far, was Garrity, but rather too far than not far enough as he's able to lunge forward and make the grab. 2 away.
Yeah, Trevor Lucas got a good bat on that going the other way, and at first you're wondering if it could go if it could leave the park, judging by the reaction of Garrity, and he recovers in time to get a big out. Seahawks just missing out on a big chance to get a first inning double against Northeastern.
That'll bring up Tanner Thatch. Thatch, 3 for 3 with 2 walks last game against Charleston. Had a couple of singles and a double. Was hit by a pitch and was intentionally walked in the bottom of the 9th. So he's starting to heat up at the right time for the Seahawks. A strike called 1-1.
Well, he absolutely is. He's the heart of this Seahawk order. He hadn't had a hit yet in the tournament, and then today against Charleston, he didn't make out one time. In the 9th inning, Charleston wanted no part of him immediately, sent him to first, part of that 9th inning rally.
This one on a ground. It'll be fielded by the shortstop. Over to first in time as Goodman makes the play for the final out of the inning. Bottom of the first coming up. We'll give you the Northeastern batting order and introduce you to the starting pitcher for UNCW.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Whether it's on day one, in the classroom, on the court, in the field, on the coast, in the community, or at the finish line, Seahawks soar together.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Take a look coming out of the break. That was the play that led to the last out of the inning. Is we give you the batting order for Northeastern. It will be Ryan Garrity leading things off, followed by Cam Maldonado, Harrison Feinberg, Jack Goodman will bat in the cleanup spot. Carmelo Muzakia will bat 5th. Matt Brinker 6th as the DH. Gregory Bazo, the emotional leader of this Northeastern team, will bat 7th. Alex Lane 8th. And Jack Doyle will bat in the 9 hole. As you see the defense for the Seahawks, we'll get you the starting pitcher of Aubrey Smith. Smith making his 2nd start of the season for UNCW, his 23rd appearance. He's 2-3 with a 2.58 ERA in 45 1/3 innings. He's given up 37 hits, 13 earned runs, has walked 11 and struck out 38 batters. Opposing teams hitting .216 off of him.
This year has only made one start as UNCW. They've used their weekend starters in this tournament, so they go with their best relief pitcher, who can be an opener, but maybe give them some length as well. As you said, Mike, he did start one game this year. That came against Charleston Southern, where he gave the Seahawks 4 strong innings, allowing only 1 run in a game that the Seahawks won. So I think this is an interesting decision, but could work out well for UNCW. Of course, they will have to face a tough lineup in Northeastern, which eventually did get to the Seahawks last night.
Ryan Garrity to start things off for Northeastern, hitting .282 on the season, 11 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, 33 runs batted in with a Franklin, Mass native. First pitch, a called strike.
And Garrity's had a big tournament already and looking to keep that going as this top of the order for Northeastern, about as good as a 1 through 4 or 5 as you can have now. Really, they go deep throughout.
93 on the fastball for strike 1, as that'll be 87 on the off-speed pitch for strike 2.
Yeah, really the question today is going to be how long and how much effectiveness can they get out of Aubrey Smith, who did throw an inning 2 nights ago against Campbell.
This one skied up down the third baseline, but it'll drift foul over the dugout. Count will stay 0-2.
Got that wind blowing from right to left now. Kind of the opposite today as it's been the last couple of days, though it does shift pretty often here.
Yeah, wait an hour. It'll blow in a different direction.
Right.
0-2, lifted out to left field. Wills will give chase. He'll run out of room as it'll deposit into the UNCW bullpen.
Yeah, that's kind of an example right there. That's yesterday with the way the wind blows. That could have been a fair ball. Certainly in play.
Garrity battling with an 0-2 count as Smith comes set and will deliver. Fastball misses not by much inside. 50-50 call there. Home plate umpire gives it a ball, 1-2. This is a knowledgeable UNCW fan base. They
do. They have an opinion on just about everything.
Yeah, but they're generally in the neighborhood of cheering for or booing for things not going their team's way. Is, you know, if one's a mile off the plate, they're not going to want it. But if it's a 50-50 ball, they've got a good shot of understanding the zone, even from the off angles. As you take a look at this, it's a foul ball off the instep of Garrity, and he's in a lot of pain. Is the athletic trainer out to check on him?
Yeah, I didn't notice it at first, but he definitely did get that on a bad part of his ankle there. So hopefully he'll be all right.
Kate Shimoda, the athletic trainer, out to check on Garrity.
He takes a quick break, but looks like he's coming back now, which is good to see. And for Northeastern, such a big part of their team. Yeah, that's just painful to look at from that angle.
Garrity with not a lot of protective equipment on at the plate. He's got the elbow guard on, but below that, foul balls are fair game. The 1-2. Another fastball low in the zone makes it 2-2.
Well, for UNCW, they got to limit the amount of free passes they give. On the season, only 11 walks issued by Aubrey Smith, so in general, a good pitcher at finding the strike zone.
Check swing. They'll appeal down to third base. They say he does not go, and that will run the count full on a ball that missed inside.
Oh, the UNCW dugout up in arms as a unit over that one. You make the call. It's a very close call. Note, we do have 6 umpires for this game, being the championship game now.
Ball up the middle, backhanded by Evans. The throw to first not in time as the speedy Garrity beats it out. And Northeastern has their first base runner with their leadoff batter here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Speedy is right. A lot of speed at the top of this order.
Right now, the head coach for UNCW giving the home plate umpire, Brian Peterson, a mouthful as Peterson waves them off, says, I don't want to hear any more.
Yeah, you don't want to hear first batter of the game, got a whole game ahead of you. Peterson's thinking, not already. With the balls and strikes arguing.
Middle infield at double play depth for the Seahawks as Cam Maldonado steps in. Maldonado, a junior out of Connecticut. A 2-for-5 day yesterday. A run scored, 2 runs driven in, coming on a 2-run double, part of that 7-run 8th inning.
Yeah, well, Maldonado had a solid but not flashy series so far, or tournament so far at the plate, but he broke out along with a lot of his team in that 8th inning. And Mike, when it was all said and done, every single Northeastern player had a hit in that game. It was a complete team victory.
Garrity back in ahead of the tag, 9 for 12 on the, Garrity is 24 of 27 on the season. As Maldonado takes a ball, 1-1 to count.
Yeah, Ryan Garrity, 24 stolen bases. All of the Northeastern top 5 hitters have 19 or more stolen bases this year.
Maldonado out to center field, hit well. As Gillespie drifts back, he'll get underneath this one for out number 1.
It was a big out for Aubrey Smith to get after a long battle with Garrity that led to no out. And this Northeastern team is so good in the first inning at taking control of the game. Seahawks trying to keep them off the board as long as possible.
I mean, we saw in the open there, Luke, Northeastern playing loose as a team, little hacky sack before the game today. We've seen it all week long. They, winning 25, 26 in a row now. They've won and currently hold the nation's longest win streak. The 47 wins, the most in the NCAA this season, the Division I level. The 9 losses, the fewest.
Yeah, no matter what happens, their season isn't going to end this weekend, but they really do want to get over this hump, finally knock out UNCW, get their CAA title.
Runner goes, good jump, the throw down, not in time, as Garrity has his 25th stolen base of the season.
I saw a few replay signs in the UNCW dugout. First look, I thought he made it, but it was close as he almost comes up a little short on the slide, but he does get the left hand in, safe.
The umpires will go underneath to take a look at this, our first challenge replay of this game.
Yeah, I think, again, could look at more angles and see something different, such as Garrity coming off the bag, but first
he
look,
did
I
keep
don't
the tag
think he
on
did.
him, though. Yeah, also the tag wasn't held.
No.
So as you see him slide in here, glove gets there first, and then the tag happens.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of our easiest challenges we've had so far, although, I haven't been great at predicting all of these so far, so we don't know what'll happen.
For those of you watching last game, you saw in the open the fair or foul ball that we weren't sure why it wasn't reviewed in real time. We got the answer is with the ball hitting the ground in front of first base. That makes the call non-reviewable for fair or foul, which is why that call was not reviewed, and that led to a big base hit for UNCW as they would go on to win by 1 run as they win 6-5 as the call on the field will be confirmed. Stolen base for Garrity as we suspected.
Yeah, it's interesting that UNCW would decide to use a challenge that early. I mean, there are some players in their dugout adamant that he was out, but and it was close, just by one step there with kind of the short slide, but clearly safe.
The pitch was a ball to Feinberg. The count 1-0 with a runner on second, 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Is Northeastern trying to strike first against this tough UNCW defense. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1 to Harrison Feinberg, who's hitting .371 on the year, 12 doubles 16 long balls, a team leading 60 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's this co-CAA Player of the Year for a reason. And he was quiet for a while last night, but then got into the fun in that 7th inning, smashing a 2-run home run, and he's got 2 home runs in this tournament now, 1 in each of the 2 games. And the runner in scoring position now for Northeastern.
The 1-2. Strike 3. Paints the outside corner, does Aubrey Smith. That'll be his first strikeout of the day. Strikeout number 2 of the inning.
Aubrey Smith is picking up where he left off, and we saw he looked very good against Campbell. Zane Taylor stole the show by going 8 innings, but Smith in the 9th inning made sure that Campbell couldn't even think about making a comeback as they attempted to do the next day. So
Yeah,
Smith continuing to be good.
Just needed the 14 pitches to get through that inning. Plenty of left in the tank for Smith as Jack Goodman. First pitch swinging, fouls it straight back, 0-1 the count. Goodman hitting .332, 9 doubles, 10 home runs, 50 runs batted in.
Season high is 4 1/3 innings. And the season high in pitches is 63, which he actually threw in 2 2/3.
Strike 2 on the inside corner. The fastball paints the black at 93. Goodman, just a junior out of Medfield, Mass, a one-time transfer from Pepperdine University. That one fouls off the umpire's mask.
I think it might have deflected off of Goodman's arm as well. That kind of just rattled around. But luckily everybody is all right.
Brian Peterson adjusts his masks and ready to go. Take a look right there, yeah. Glancing blow.
Hey, good thing he had that mask on.
The 0-2 misses up top.
But
1-2 now to Goodman. 2 away, 1 on at second. That's Garrity out there. He reached on a single and then stole second base as Goodman fouls it back and out of play.
Well, in the game against Charleston and most of the game against UNCW, the one thing that Northeastern wasn't doing is hitting with 2 outs and hitting with runners in scoring position. But they got all those numbers up in the 8th inning of last night's game.
Yeah, Goodman 2 for 4 with a run scored as he'll send this one out to left field, but well played by Wills. He'll charge in, make the catch for the final out of the inning. Scoreless after 1. We'll be right back here in Mount Pleasant.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
The CAA Baseball Championship is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Mike Ward, Luke Gerasati here in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, and it's been a great week for Coastal Athletic Association Baseball. The last championship series of the year for the CAA. It's been a great year from the fall through the winter and now the spring sports season.
Yeah, been a great season for the CAA and all sports. Had a lot of great individual team seasons, some great tournament games. A lot of different winners throughout all the schools. Is now one of these two teams will be the final one of the season here.
Brian Arndt, the catcher, set to lead things off. Senior out of Holly Springs, North Carolina, has had a good tournament thus far. A couple of long balls, all kinds of ribbies, a couple of doubles as well, as he is hitting .274 on the season. 17 doubles, 7 long balls, 33 runs batted in.
Yeah, he might be the Seahawks' best and most consistent hitter the last couple months.
Sends this one down the first baseline, and that's a foul ball. And not reviewable.
Yeah, that did look a little bit similar, though maybe a little more clearly foul.
Yeah, it was
than
definitely clearly
play,
foul.
But we definitely just the way that ball moved was very reminiscent of it. Yeah, Wren has been great in this tournament, and he was a big part of why they just won the way they did in the ninth.
Arndt swings through one, low in the zone, comes up empty, 1-2.
And Mike, remember, they intentionally walked him even after walking Thatch, and that loaded the bases. So there was no place to put Aiden Evans, and that allowed him to get that walk-off hit by pitch.
1-2 out to center field. Long run in for Machado. He'll lay out, can't make the grab. Arndt on his way to second base. He'll pull in with a double here to start the top of the second.
Maldonado taking the gamble there and doesn't get it, so it ends up being another double for Arndt. Yeah, just a little too long of a run. He tried to dive out for it. So he did have Garrity backing him up on the play, but by the time Ryan got it, he was easily into second was Brian Arndt. And so now the Seahawks have a chance here. Northeastern, who's only given up 1 run this tournament, and that was on a home run.
By the man standing on second base. Aiden Evans takes ball 1, 1-0.
We haven't been in a ton of situations like this either. Late in the game, the top of the 8th, UNCW had first and second, nobody out, but then couldn't score. Northeastern will have to find a way to keep it a 0 again.
1-0 misses outside. Now 2-0 is Eamon Cabral trying to locate that outside corner of the strike zone.
Well, Eamon Cabral pitched against UNCW last year when they played. But last year, Eamon Cabral was not the same pitcher. He had an ERA over 7. So UNCW tagged him for 4 runs in 2 2/3 innings, but you almost can't even look at that because of the sheer turnaround that Cabral has had in his junior season.
Yeah, it was a weird off year for Cabral. His sophomore year, he was electric as a true freshman.
Yeah.
And then he has regained his form as a junior. You almost wonder if he was a little banged up or something else was going on last year, as you see Coach Mike Glavin in his 11th season at Northeastern on the rail there. Is that'll be ball 4. 5-pitch walk, and now UNCW looking to threaten here in the top of the second. They've got runners on first and second with no outs.
And Cabral, like most of his other Northeastern pitchers, they do not walk a lot of guys. He has averaged less than 1 walk per start this year. And once again, UNCW with that chance, first and second, nobody out. Try to break it through this Northeastern pitching and defense.
Kevin Jones will step in. Jones, the number 6 hitter in the lineup. Takes a strike, nice bender from Cabral. Jones, a senior, hitting .290. 5 doubles, 4 home runs, 29 runs batted in.
Yeah, and he's been a solid offensive player. mainly known for his glove, but I believe he has had a hit in every game of this tournament. And at this point now, it's a little surprised not to see any attempt at a bunt, but see if he can at least move the runners over.
290 average up to 364 with runners on. So he'll look to battle back from an 0-2 count. Cabral delivers, just misses outside, 1-2.
Even Cabral has just been so consistent this year. And one of the most impressive streaks really in the country. He's had 12 straight games that he has gone 6 innings or longer.
Check swing, they'll appeal down to first. They say he does not go around. That'll even the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Middle infield, a double play depth for Northeastern. If you take a look there, yeah, he's able to hold up.
Yeah, and for UNCW, they feel like they got the makeup calls. The close call went Northeastern's way in the bottom of the first on the check swing.
The 2-2. That'll miss upstairs. Now the count runs full as UNCW. A chance to load the bases. Extra base hit would score at least 1. UNCW fans down the left field line coming alive as Jones fouls it back. We'll do the payoff pitch again.
And for them to be able to jump out to a lead, this game would be big. Both of these teams like to jump out to leads and hold them. Actually, the game Northeastern won, the game UNCW won today was their first walk-off win all season. And their first one-run win in over 3 months. They usually like to take control.
This one hit high into left field, chasing the left fielder Feinberg back. He's at the wall, reaches up, it's gone. A 3-run home run here in the top of the second for Kevin Jones. And he'll put the Seahawks up early, 3-0.
Well, that's one way to make a statement early. Kevin Jones, who'd had just 4 home runs all year, wasn't really much of a power hitter, but here as an at-bat after going down 0-2 early, takes a few pitches, fouls one off, and then sends the 3-2 over the wall. It is a 3-0 lead for UNCW in a very unfamiliar spot for the Northeastern Huskies.
And that will draw Kevin Cobb, the associate head coach and pitching coach, out of the dugout to have a chat with his starter Cabral as the Seahawks continuing where they left off against Charleston. They put up a 3 spot and still no outs. And the base is empty now for Alec DiMartino.
In UNCW, they didn't have any home runs in that game against Charleston either. It was all just kind of rallies, so kind of just comes out of nowhere here.
DiMartino swings through the first pitch, 0-1.
For Cabral, it's just the 3rd home run all year that he's given up.
What a great time for UNCW to take advantage of it. That one in on the hands. This is upstairs, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, and like he said, still no outs. So if they have Cabral off his game at all, take advantage more. And knowing you need to win too. Not that you want to think that far ahead, but you want to get him to use as many everybody to throw as many pitches, as many pitchers out here in this game as possible.
Outfield shaded for DiMartino to go the other way as there's a big gap in left center field. Maldonado might as well be playing in right center as he'll shift back a little bit towards center field here with a 2-2 count. Fastball fouled back and out of play.
The Seahawk hitters continuing to battle. This game started with that strikeout of Brock Wills, but unlike last night, wasn't a sign of things to come immediately for Northeastern, as since then these Seahawk hitters have been on these pitches.
Breaking ball lifted up down the left field line in foul territory. Have a look at it. It'll get out of play. The count will stay 2-2 to DiMartino.
After breezing through that first inning, Cabral, he's up to over 30 pitches now.
DiMartino on the ground past the diving third baseman Doyle. He'll round first, head to second base, and he will have a double. And right now, UNCW all over Avon Cabral.
The Seahawks are making quite a statement in this inning. Hey, don't forget about us yet. We're still the two-time defending champions, and until you kill us completely in this tournament, we're going to keep playing. Northeastern, if they thought this was just going to be an easy coronation type of game, they are quickly finding out otherwise.
It's been easy for them thus far. They have not trailed in the ball game, in the tournament until this point of it, as they trail 3-0 as Mason Hughes, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, swings through the first pitch. Hughes making just his 7th start of the season, hitting 185, the freshman with 5 hits and 27 at-bats. He does have 3 RBIs on the year. Hughes takes one low in the zone, 1-1.
Yeah, we saw Hughes against Campbell in this tournament as he got the start at DH batting 8th then. UNCW, their lineup's interesting because Mac Gillespie's always batting 9th. It's that second leadoff hitter. Their 8th spot, that's the one that's shifted throughout the tournament.
Swings through that, 1-2 the count.
Huskies needing desperately to get this first out to try to grab some of the momentum back. I mean, 3 runs is definitely, they're not going to be panicked at all over that, but they can't let this inning get too out of hand.
The 1-2 on the ground to third. They'll look the runner back. Throw over to first in time. 1 away. Nice play by the third baseman Doyle. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Mac Gillespie.
Yeah, Northeastern, they're such a good defensive team on top of everything else. Very few fielding mistakes for the Huskies that we've seen.
Gillespie, 2 for 4 against Charleston earlier today, is hitting .245 on the season. 8 doubles, 4 home runs, 30 runs batted in as they'll throw back to second. Almost threw it out into center field. The second baseman, Muzakia, having to adjust his path to the bag to go back and get that one.
And in a play that turned out to be one of the more forgotten ones with everything that happened after. He got the leadoff hit, first pitch of the 9th inning, that infield single to third. And, that's the leadoff runner in innings like that when you're down 1. So important. So Gillespie, kind of an unsung hero of earlier today for the Seahawks.
Cabral misses low in the zone again. It's been his issue today, missing well below the strike zone. Checks the pitch comm on his wrist, takes a deep breath, toes the rubber for the 1-1. This one up in the zone.
Yeah, missed high that time. Cabral just, part of it is these UNCW hitters being so competitive, but he just looks a little bit off right now.
Two one, fouled back, evens it up, 2-2.
This inning and this game also now being reminiscent of the one 2 years ago that UNCW beat Northeastern on this field in this Saturday evening, getting the couple home runs early to go up 3-0, then they held on.
Swung on, foul ball.
Obviously the difference is this time it's the Seahawks who need to win the 2 games.
Yep. Big gap in left center field as Gillespie With a 2-2 count, runner on second, just one out for the Seahawks. This one popped up into shallow center field. The second baseman and shortstop go out, but the center fielder, Maldonado, sprinting in, makes the grab for out number 2.
And the sun's still a little bit of a factor right now, along with the wind on these pop flies. You know, fielders today have done a pretty good job of dealing with it. The game earlier today, we saw a few fielders almost lose it in the sun, but they all were able to recover. Now back around to the top of the order, Brock Wills. The only strikeout so far of the game.
This one on the ground to short. A throw over to first in time for the final out of the inning, but not before. The Seahawks strike first. A 3-run home run by Kevin Jones puts them on top 3-0. Bottom of the second when we come back.
Well, Northeastern in spot. They haven't been in this tournament now batting. They're trailing by 3 runs in their offense now with a little bit more pressure on them to answer the Seahawks. This inning, it'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Northeastern. Aubrey Smith looked pretty good in the first, and let's see how he does now pitching with a lead. Masakia, Brinker, and Bazo, the 3 Husky batters he's set to face this inning.
And Luke, this is the part of the lineup for Northeastern that's really been locked in. You know, you look at Masakia against Charleston. He had a good game there. Slow to get started against UNCW last night, but able to come through when it mattered. He hit the game-winning walk-off home run. It was a 2-run shot that put Northeastern on the road to this game today. As Brinker's been red hot in the DH spot, and Bazo only has 1 start, but he has come through in clutch performances as this one out to right center field. That's going to be Gillespie making the grab, 1 away.
Yeah, Masakia got that walk-off, unexpected in a way, walk-off home run last night.
Yeah, we weren't even expecting we hadn't even, you go back and look at it and you're like, oh, man, here's an opportunity for them to walk off. You don't realize it's even coming, and then, boom, there it is.
I mean, Northeastern made it a 5-1 game. They got their insurance run in that inning, and the sac fly made it 2 out, so we weren't even thinking they could get to 11, but that's what they did. So this is far from safe right now for UNCW with a 3-0 lead.
1-0 to Matt Brinker, the junior from Norfolk, Mass. As that's in there for a strike. 1-1.
Brinker, another guy in this lineup who's just a really solid hitter.
Yeah, .299 average with 7 doubles, 6 home runs, 27 runs batted in.
Did have the home run against Charleston.
That one buried at the back foot for ball 2.
Yeah, Aubrey Smith, he's done a good job so far. Remember, thought he had Garrity struck out, then gave up the infield hit. But since then, now he's retired 4 straight as we're going to get a...
Just time called, yep. Ryan Peterson hopping out from behind the plate to signal time. 2-1 out to left field. Wills makes the grab. Almost got turned around, able to recover nicely for 2 outs.
Well, Northeastern right now, they've been hitting a lot of balls decently, but just kind of line flies to the outfield, and UNCW will take that.
Yeah, all day long is with 2 away. That'll bring up Gregory Bazzo, talking to Coach Glavin after the win last night. And, Northeastern, prior to that big offensive explosion in that inning, playing a little Bazzo ball, as they like to call it, is Bazzo was looking to bunt the runners over, and with Thatch crashing down, thought about a slash bunt, and then ended up with 2 strikes, and lo and behold, what does he do? Gets a base knock, and that kept the inning going for Northeastern, and Coach Glavin really credits that at-bat to helping that offensive explosion in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, Bazzo, senior, just such a big leader on this team. You saw him, really do a good job. It was the Jordan Gottesman show pitching, but I think that Bazzo just as important being his battery mate. Saw him the few times he had to go out and calm the pitcher down, like in that top of the 8th inning. And then whenever his pitchers get a strikeout and get off the field, he's the guy that jumps up and is so excited.
Yeah, he meets the pitcher before they even cross fair foul territory. This will be a foul ball back and out of play. Bings on top of the awning, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, and Bazzo, even though the batting average may not be that high, pretty good contact hitter. Just 18 strikeouts this year compared to 15 walks.
The 1-2. Another pop-up. Back and out of play.
That's the other thing that Gregory Bazzo does, just battles and fouls off at bats, as he is tough to put away.
Outfield straight away, infield straight up for the Seahawks. A 1-2 count with 2 outs. That'll miss outside, 2-2.
Well, Aubrey Smith, even though he's given up a few hit balls to the outfield, they haven't been super hard hit, just fly balls, and those aren't going to hurt you, as long as you keep them in the park.
Strike 3, Bazzo can't catch up to the inside heat, as that will be the second strikeout of the day for Aubrey Smith. A 1-2-3 inning. UNCW leads 3-0 as we head to the 3rd.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Look, Elsie is a role player. She cannot lead a team.
Her handles ain't that good. I'm literally, look, you almost ripped her right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it.
She's a good piece. If Plum is your #1 option, then you're not winning anything major.
What do you say to those that say you can't shoot a 3 to save your life?
Do it again, though. She can barely hold the ball. But I'm just not sold on her.
She can't make that.
She's cooking.
Apologize. I ain't gonna lie, she nice.
Well, I mean, she is in the WNBA, so she's gonna hit a few shots. She a problem for real.
The head coach, Randy Hood, for UNCW. He's in there somewhere, Coach Hood, right there up against the post. In his 6th season, 180 wins at UNCW. Actually played at Campbell in his collegiate career before going professional. And, when he got into the coaching ranks, it's like, if I can just get to Wilmington or Charleston, a place like that, I might stay there a long time. And he's had some other opportunities and is elected to stay at UNCW. And he and his family call that place home now, and they're not looking to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, and why would you? I mean, he's doing such a great job there. He's continued their strong championship tradition and trying to go for that three-peat this year.
Trevor Lucas, his second time seeing Cabral, as he is 0 for 1 today.
Yeah, maybe starting to show signs that he's about to get hot, as he hit the ball pretty hard to right field last time, all the way to the track. And even though he didn't get a hit in that ninth inning in the last game, he did have the RBI ground out that tied it, doing his job by moving both runners over.
1-1 will be a strike on the outside corner. A breaking ball from Cabral, locating down and in, or down and out. All UNCW fans excited, Northeastern fans voicing a little displeasure on that call as it misses just off the plate. Count 2-2.
Yeah, it seems like when it gets this intense, it's reactive to every pitch. You're going to have one of those every at-bat that's going to get half the fans happy and half the fans up in arms.
It has been a good turnout from the Northeastern fan base this season. I mean, earlier in the season, talking to Coach Glavin, he's like, sometimes we had more wins than fans at home. And he's happy to see all the fans that have made their way down to the Charleston area for this tournament.
Well, sometimes it's said that, college baseball is bigger in the South, but that just makes Northeastern more impressive how they've done it.
Strike 3 looking as Lucas goes down. The strikeout by Cabral, his first since the start of the ball game when he struck out Brock Wills. He now has 2 on the day.
Well, good start to the third inning for Cabral, as was pretty expected. This is not a guy who gets knocked out of games. So he had the one off inning, and Northeastern for sure expecting him to buckle down and be pretty good the rest of the way. And Tanner Thatch, boy, did he break out last game like we were talking about. Still hasn't had a home run yet in this tournament, but
he was swinging for one right there. That swing was 110% effort on that one.
And Tanner Thatch had 10 home runs this year. He had 27 a year ago. Well, what I thought was interesting about Tanner Thatch is even with the drop-off, the huge drop-off in home runs, he actually had more RBIs this year than he did a year ago. That actually might have been somebody else, so forget that. No.
Strike called on the inside corner.
Yeah, I apologize there, but no, the point
That's
is...
okay. It all starts to get jumbled up this time of the year. We've done, our 10th game. This will be game number 10. As Thatch sends one the other way. Feinberg drifting back. He'll make the grab in the shadows of the left field wall.
Yeah, it's a tough place to play, that little pocket, but Feinberg plays it well.
Now, 2 away for Brian Arndt. Arndt, the leadoff double in the second inning. Will later come around and score the game's first run on the 3-run home run by Kevin Jones. Little young Seahawk fan taking in the game through osmosis. Napping, mom pacing the concourse. See him right back there behind home plate.
That's how fandom starts, Mike.
That's right. Just listening to the sights and sounds of the game.
Yeah, as long as the mom's careful and there's a foul ball back there, all is good.
You got the protective netting, Luke. They're more than safe back there.
Of course, seeing the videos sometimes of those dads that catch the ball while holding on to the baby. That's what.
Look, you want to talk about
really
pure
impressive.
athleticism? That's those dads right there, holding on to the kid, catching the
Moms
ball
too.
barehanded or in the beer cup. Those are the pro athletes, Luke.
One guy right now is playing like a pro athlete. It's Brian Arndt. I mean, he has just been completely locked in. 2 homers, 4 extra base hits this tournament. You know, last year he did hit a big double off of Evan Cabral. That actually knocked him out in the 3rd inning. And again, completely different pitcher that Cabral is this year. But, you know, Brian Arndt, he's a bit of a better hitter, too, than he was last year.
Cabral, a 2-1 count to Arndt. Arndt fouls it back, out of play. The count will even up at 2-2.
Brian Arndt, who's now hit 18 doubles this season.
This will be pitch number 60 for Cabral.
Yeah, he's going to have to do some work to get through his standard minimum of 6 innings.
Yeah, last inning was a 37-pitch inning as Cabral puts the exclamation point on a 1-2-3 inning. Strikes out 2. He's got 3 on the day. We'll head to break with UNCW leading 3-0. Welcome back in as we move to the bottom of the 3rd. Luke Gerasati, I'm Mike Ward, and somewhere in there, Coach Mike Glavin, there he is, going to his post at the end as he will come out and coach third base as he does every game in his 11th season, 354 wins, all at Northeastern. As a 3-time NCAA participant under Glavin, a 5-time CAA Coach of the Year, including this season. During this 26-game win streak, he's just talked about playing with consistency and intention. And so far here today, the consistency maybe not quite there, but you can see the intention at the plate. It's to put it in play, keep the pressure on UNCW. The consistency missing on the mound right now, but Evan Cabral looked like he's trying to dial it back in the top of the 3rd, see if the offense can get going in the bottom half.
Yeah, Alex Lane at the plate, who might be starting to get hot. He had a long home run at last game that got high off the batter's eye.
Oh, it was 2/3 up the batter's eye.
Oh, yeah. Really impressive hit by Alex. And, you know, back to Mike Glavin, he's built such a good program at Northeastern. And this might be the first year they've gotten really a lot of national attention, but, you know, he's been doing it up there for a while, really impressively. I mean, playing in a Southern Conference the way that Northeastern does, you know, the conference normally dominated by the Southern teams, and not only being competitive, but, you know, winning regular seasons and now having a chance to win the tournament down here in Charleston.
Well, this is the 5th straight season with 30-plus wins, as that's a nice stop by Lucas. The throw offline as he will be safe at first, but hang on. If he pays attention, he might get the out. And they'll still say safe. He ran inside the baseline. I think UNCW might have a little bit of an argument here, unless they're saying that the tag pushed Lane inside the base path. We'll take a look at it right here as you see the tag. And yeah, that could be said that.
Yeah, I think the tag did push him in. You know, Lane on his own never made the turn to like consider going to second base. So, I think with the spirit of that call, that's probably the right call.
Yeah, I think it'll be an error on the third baseman. That's what pulled the first baseman off the bag, and it will be an error on Lucas.
And it just kind of shows that errors are cruel sometimes, because Lucas made such a good play to get that ball. And if he didn't do that, he wouldn't have had a chance to make the error. But the error comes on the throw. And it's now Jack Doyle up at the plate. This is the number 9 hitter for Northeastern, though again, this Northeastern lineup pretty good all throughout. Jack Doyle, a really good kind of second leadoff hitter for this team as he gets on base. A .401 on base percentage.
Luke, what'll be interesting here with the infield double play depth, see if Aubrey Smith can get a ground ball. Most of his outs, other than strikeouts, have been fly balls.
Yeah, they have. He got a ground ball just there, but wasn't exactly an easy play. Jack Doyle, I mean, this whole Northeastern team pretty fast, but we know Jack Doyle is not an easy guy to get for a double play.
I like the intensity from Aubrey Smith on the mound. Was mad at himself for missing that last spot.
That ball is high, and trying to track it is Smith, and he will eventually get under it.
Going to be Jones that makes that grab at
Jones,
shortstop.
my
Yep,
bad.
nope, it's okay. Yeah, as that'll be one away.
I'm still having Aubrey Smith on the mind. We were talking about the pitcher, and yeah, he is doing a pretty good job as
Just allowed 2 batters to reach, a hit and an error. The reasons Northeastern has gotten anyone on base, and the hit was by this man right here, the leadoff batter, Ryan Garrity. Garrity 1 for 1 today, as he'll send this one out to shallow center field. Jones can't run it down, and it'll be another base knock for the leadoff batter for Northeastern. And now the Huskies, with 1 out here in the third, their best opportunity to score against Aubrey Smith so far today.
yeah, and they're going to trust their good part of the order, or their best part of the order coming up here. You saw Mike Glavin right away. He put the stop sign up as Alex Lane didn't even think about trying to go first to third. Northeastern likes the spot they're in. 2 on, 1 out, and their 2 Player of the Year contenders, Cam Maldonado and Harrison Feinberg, up back-to-back.
Feinberg on deck, Maldonado at the plate. Cam 0 for 1 today, a fly out to center field, his first time up. This one on the ground to short. Jones over to second, and a smart play by Evans to make sure he picks that one clean, shows the umpire the ball in the mitt, and that'll be out number 2 as Northeastern will have runners on first and third with 2 away.
Yeah, nice play by both Jones and Evans there. The double play wasn't going to happen there, especially with the speed of Maldonado, but they got the second out, and you know, it's a tough task, but all you have to do now is get 1 more out, and you're out of the inning.
For Northeastern, they're going to send the CAA Co-Player of the Year, Harrison Feinberg, to the plate. 0 for 1 so far, a strikeout coming in the first inning, a chance to get Northeastern on the board here with a base knock.
I would note that he's a 373 hitters with 2 outs, but that's pretty much his average all the time.
The throw over, not in time.
Another impressive thing with Harrison Feinberg is that in conference games this year, where Northeastern went 25-2, Feinberg had an on-base percentage of .496, nearly half the time getting on base.
Another throw over. You mentioned the consistency of Feinberg, the .369 average, .381 with runners on, .389 with runners in scoring position, and .373 with 2 outs, his splits in those situations. Here he finds himself with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs.
Picked up his 60th RBI of the season yesterday.
There's a strike from Smith. The fastball at 93. Smith still pumping with the velo, as this is do or die for for UNCW here in Game 10.
Very impressive for Smith to still be pumping that at this point.
Swung through, the throw down to second base. They will get him as Maldonado got a little bit of a late jump. I don't know if that was a missed sign or if he was trying to get into a rundown. Either way, it will be out number 3 as we will head to break. UNCW up 3-0.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Take a look at this. The throw down, or even a little pump fake in there from the catcher Arndt, and the nice tag by the second baseman Evans. Luke, you and I talking during the break. I don't know if Maldonado missed a sign or Feinberg missed a sign, but either way, I don't understand why you're moving with 2 outs there and taking the bat out of your best hitter in Harrison Feinberg with a runner on third.
Yeah, it's a questionable decision, and Northeastern has played such good fundamental baseball. That's a rare mistake we've seen, and there's the decision aspect of it, and then there's the aspect of Maldonado, such a good base stealer, just not getting a good jump on the play. And you think that maybe there could have been a missed sign.
It'll be Aiden Evans, the second baseman, who applied the nice tag to lead things off. A walk in his last plate appearance. He scored on the 3-run home run by Kevin Jones, who awaits on deck. Outfield shaded for Evans to go opposite field is big gap in left center. Strike on the outer half makes it 0-2 as Cabral quickly ahead.
Of course, Aiden Evans, the one with that walk-off hit by pitch. UNCW's first walk-off win of the season, and it was a hit by pitch by this guy right here.
On the ground to third, backing up is Doyle. The long throw across. Nice pick at first by Lane, 1 away.
That was a really impressive out. Again, I don't know how many baseball games you watch on TV, but I don't think the TV does justice on how long of a throw that is. Imagine 25, 30 yards on a football field. Doyle getting it nearly perfectly in there, and then Lane with the perfect pick.
The 3-run home run last time up for Kevin Jones, as you see it sail over the wall as he steps in with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch, a called strike. Jones average sitting at 293. He falls behind 0-2. The home run was his 5th of the season. Has now collected 32 RBI.
Kevin Jones, more of a defense, speed, contact hitter. He'd only have 7 career home runs in 2 years. Might have just gotten his biggest.
Puts a charge into this one, straightaway center field. It'll have Machado on the run, and it'll bounce over the outfield wall. Kevin Jones, a hot start here tonight. He's got a 3-run home run and now a double as he reaches base for the second time in game number 10.
Kevin Jones had been hitting all tournament, but had been kind of quiet, a single here, a single there. Not quiet this game with the 3-run home run and now a loud double out here. This one's got a chance to go for a little bit.
Now, it was actually 0 for 3 against Charleston. It reached on a walk.
Right. It was 3 for 6 in the first 2 games. Had 2 hits against Campbell and did have one of UNCW's few hits against Northeastern last night.
Alec DiMartino, a double his last time up. Swings through the first pitch, 0-1 the count. 1 away, runner on second for the Seahawks. Strike on the outer half as Cabral ahead 0-2.
It's now the third double of the game given up by Avon Cabral. That ties his season high. Let's try to dial it back in again.
And that'll be strike 3. They've got to go down to first. Jones thought about taking off for third, but smartly stays put as DiMartino strikes out. That'll be strikeout number 4 on the day for Cabral.
We got Baza, the veteran there. He knows what to do. He knows the situation, looking off the runner.
It was a smart play by Baza. You
Yeah,
seen him immediately
exactly.
look at third base because he was trying to see if Jones had taken off for third on the dirt read, but with Jones not going anywhere, quickly adjusted and made the throw to first base as Mason Hughes will bat with 2 outs and a runner on second. Hughes 0 for 1 today, a ground out to third base his first time up.
Yeah, good decision by Jones to stay put there. Mason Hughes just 3 runs driven in on the season.
This one out to center field. Machado back, turns around, makes the grab, backing up for the final out of the inning. As Avon Cabral pitches around the 1-out double. Bottom of the 4th, when we come back, UNCW leads 3-0. A 3-0 ball game here as more young fans here in the ballpark getting their first taste of CAA tournament action.
Yeah, I mean, just about everybody's in the stand. We saw some dogs yesterday. Now see some babies. Oh, hey, it's going to make a little appearance on the camera. Hopefully he, or she, I actually couldn't really tell, is enjoying the game.
Look, that baby's got it down. Realized the
Yeah.
camera was on.
I
Said,
know.
"Oh,
How about that?
let me
little
turn, get a little glamour shot in." As Harrison Feinberg will lead things off after being at the plate with Cam Maldonado thrown out at second.
Yeah, and he did have 2 strikes on him. He was behind in the count, but still, you took the bat out of his hands with a chance to potentially tie the game or at least bring your team well back in it. But he will get to start this inning, where he's 543 leading off an inning this year.
Maybe that was the strategy for Northeastern.
Well, if they have a big inning this inning, then I'm sure that that's what they'll say after the game.
A 1-0 count. It's a Feinberg. Pops it up. It'll drift back behind the press box, landing on the roof.
Northeastern, their offense definitely playing with more pressure, coming from behind, which they haven't had to do in a little while. Only have 2 hits today, both of them by Garrity.
Ooh, nice breaking ball there. Aubrey Smith. Feinberg out in front. 1-2 the count. Outfield straight away, infield straight up. This one out to left field. It'll chase Wills back. He's at the track, the wall, it's gone. Solo home run for Harrison Feinberg as he leads off the bottom of the 4th with a solo shot. 107 off the bat, 403 over the wall. As for Feinberg, that will be home run number 17 on the season.
And number 3 in this tournament, 1 in each of the 3 games, 3 different kinds of home runs too. That one more of a pull shot, but a no-doubter into that deep part of left center field. As Harrison Feinberg picks the team up after gets the bat taken out of his hands last inning. But in this inning, leading off, he does what he does best.
Gets Northeastern on the scoreboard, a 2-run deficit now for the Huskies as UNCW leads 3-1. Smith delivers to Jack Goodman. Goodman 0 for 1 today, a fly out to left his first time up.
By the way, the last time that Northeastern was losing in a game was 8 games ago, May 10th against William and Mary. They trailed 1-0, and I think you'd say they responded pretty well. They won 15-1.
Just snuck past them.
So, for the last time they've been in this kind of deficit, even 3-0, you have to go back a long while before that. But obviously they've responded almost every time. That's why they've won 26 in a row.
The 1-1. Strike on the outside corner. 95 on the fastball from Smith. He is still bringing it.
Yeah, he is, and this is usually his limit, but, we saw it with the College of Charleston a couple times, forced to use normal relievers as starters. Coach Chad Holbrook pushed them a bit, and we'll see if Coach Hood does the same now.
This one out to center field. Gillespie out there for the grab. 1 away.
Yeah, Goodman a good swing into one. Aubrey Smith continuing to get mostly fly balls, but with the exception of the Feinberg blast, most of them have been harmless.
And now with 1 away, Carmelo Musakia heads to the plate to fly out to center field his first time up. Number 5 hitter in the lineup.
Went after the first pitch last time. And he does so again. An aggressive hitter.
Chops it foul. Coach Glavin getting out of the way of that one. Musakia hailing from New York, New York.
So for the last time Northeastern had a 3-run deficit, you go back to April 15th against Kansas State. They were down 3-0 in the first, won that game 11-4.
The 0-1. Back up the middle. Jones will field it on one hop. The throw to first in time. 2 away.
Another good job by Aubrey Smith as he, even making this one big mistake, he responds well. He has shown he's absolutely up to the task of not only starting a game for only the 2nd time this year, but an elimination game. And, playing a team like this, you feel like you have such a small margin for error. Even now pitching with the lead.
Matt Brinker 0 for 1 today. A fly out to left field in his first at-bat. Steps in with 2 away. Strike on the outside corner at 93 from Aubrey Smith.
Yeah, Brinker hit the ball pretty well, just as a lot of people did, but it kind of just a line fly out to left. And Smith will have no problem if he keeps getting those.
I want him this inside. 1-1. Outfield straightaway, infield straight up for the Seahawks.
I'd say overall the field has done a pretty good job for UNCW. I know they had that momentary lapse when they had 3 errors in the 5th inning against Charleston, but they recovered.
Swung on and missed. Nice off-speed pitch there from Smith.
Just 2 strikeouts for Smith, but he's had a few nice pitches that he's really shown off. Some good swing and miss stuff.
On the ground, cut off by the third baseman, Lucas, over to first in time for the final out of the inning. A solo home run by Harrison Feinberg puts Northeastern on the board. It's a 3-1 UNCW lead as we head to the break.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Look, Kelsey is a role player. She cannot lead a team.
Her handles ain't that good. I'm literally, look, you almost ripped her right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it.
She's a good piece. If Plum is your number one option, then you're not winning anything major.
What do you say to those that say you can't shoot a three that save your life?
Do it again, though. She can barely hold the ball. But I'm just not sold on
She can't make that.
She's cooking.
Apologize. I ain't gonna lie, she nice.
Well, I mean, she is in the WNBA, so she's gonna hit a few shots. She a problem for real.
UNCW leads 3-1 as we head to the top of the fifth inning here at Patriots Point. Luke Gerasati. I'm Mike Ward. It's been a fun week here in the Charleston area.
There's so many great games, so many different kinds of games. A couple walk-offs, a couple of teams holding on at the end, and again, we don't know what we still have yet to see as the two best teams in the conference lock for at least one more time. Right now, UNCW might have some eyebrows turned even around the country. I mean, you see a 26-game winning streak and in the most jeopardy it's been in a little while.
Yeah, talking to Coach Glavin, he said we can win in a bunch of different ways, but come from behind wins have happened in that 26 run win streak.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
Swung on and missed is Matt Gillespie. It's actually a piece of it and fouls it off. 0-1 the count.
The inverse of that is every time Northeastern has jumped out to an early lead, they've been almost automatic all year. But that does come with the slight downside of not being too experienced in situations like this.
I mean, if any team can do it, you imagine it could be this number 19 ranked team in the nation. This one on the ground, foul.
So Avon Cabral, now in his fifth inning of work, with the exception of that second inning where he really threw a lot of pitches. He has
37?
37 pitches in that inning, but just up to a little over 70 on the day now.
That will be pitch number 73 as it's a leadoff single for Matt Gillespie. And we've talked about it all week long. Gillespie, just that stereotypical second leadoff hitter in the 9-hole, and he shows you why right there. Just takes it, what he can get, drives it right back up the middle, and he's on first to start the top of the fifth inning.
And with guys in the top of the order that have been pretty hot too, that's pretty big. Brock Wills still hitless in this game, but he's had himself a big tournament and really was in many ways the star of the game earlier today.
If you're Northeastern, though, you're looking to put up a 0 after getting a run. Get your team back into the dugout and try and continue to chip into this 3-1 Seahawk lead. As Brock Wills will lead things off, will bat next as the leadoff batter. And that throw back to Cabral, making him trip over the mound, able to keep his feet. And more importantly, hang on to the ball. Could have been disastrous.
Avon Cabral all year has been good at giving Northeastern distance and, giving them efficient innings, late in his starts. 5th and 6th innings have been strong points this year for Avon Cabral, where with some pitchers, that's usually where they falter. Brock Wills, we've talked about the 3 hits he had against Charleston, but the play you might forget about is that jumping catch he had in left field when Charleston had a chance to score an insurance run.
The throw back in as Gillespie dives back ahead of the tag. Gillespie on the season, 8 for 12. Not a big lead over there at first as he gets his initial lead. He'll take off. The ball on the ground to third, only play over to first as the catcher Bozzo sprints down the third baseline to cover third. Smart heads-up play by the senior.
Yeah, he just left the mask behind, and then he went to cover third, just like he was playing third base there. And Bozzo's got pretty good speed for a catcher too, so he can field pretty good amount.
We saw him go from first to third last night in the game against the Seahawks. Is now Trevor Lucas, the number 2 hitter in the lineup, 0 for 2 today. Dive back in by Gillespie as Cabral tries to get the quick pickoff.
Yeah, for a moment he almost had Gillespie, kind of sliding on his feet, but Mack able to get down and get into second with enough time.
This one down the first baseline. Lane going to take a look. Just out of his reach is. Got to keep the gate closed there, big guy. You can't go open the gate and go chase after it.
No, you can't. Well, I think what happened is he wasn't even thinking it was a gate. He was trying to reach over the wall, and it's a good thing he didn't jump on it and swing himself around with the door.
Oh, that'd have been fun. A little carnival ride action.
Yeah, I mean, if you're hanging on to the wall still, does that count? If you
look,
make a catch like that?
We're trying to learn too many new rules here today, Luke. I've already gotten one for the day. That's my limit. Don't need to learn anything else, as this one's on the ground to short, backhanded by Goodman, and now they've got Gillespie in a rundown. It's going to go 6, 5, 4, and 6.
Yeah, good rundown by Northeastern. I think if you're Trevor Lucas, you got to run to second there once. You had plenty of opportunity to do that once Gillespie was in the rundown. I thought he was going to for a second. But instead, UNCW is going to lose their runner in scoring position. And just being able to execute a good rundown, so important.
Look at this. This is textbook. Youngsters. Yep. If you are a team baseball player, look at those Northeastern baseball players getting in line. Literally getting in line, ready for a rundown. You don't cut line. You don't jump line. You get behind the next man. If there's 2 people already in line, you're third in line. Because that is how you execute a perfect pickle on defenses. Now, head coach Mike Glavin out of the dugout to go have a meeting with Cabral, and this might be it for him today. As Glavin talking with him, we do see a lefty up in the bullpen as Glavin will make the call to the pen. So the day over for Avon Cabral. He'll go 4 2/3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for Northeastern will be number 14. It's going to be Jack Bowery, a senior out of North Haven, Connecticut, a one-time transfer from Marist. Bowery making his 14th appearance of the season, his 9th appearance out of the bullpen. He's 2-0 with 4 saves, a 3 ERA. In 48 innings, he's given up 40 hits, 16 earned runs, 8 walks, 34 strikeouts. His opposing batters hitting .221 off of him. And this is the 3rd game of the series for Northeastern, and this is just the 6th pitcher we've seen.
Yeah,
they used 2 pitchers against Charleston, 2 pitchers against UNCW yesterday, and now this is really the first time they've gone to the bullpen out of necessity with on the ropes as they trail by 2.
Yeah, even Cabral getting just a 4 1/3, which again, first time in 12 starts that he hasn't gotten through 6 innings. But now it's going to be Bowery pitching, and Bowery this year has made a few starts. One of them was a bit notable. He pitched 10 innings in a start against Hawaii. 108 pitches, and not often that you see a 10 in the innings column for a starting pitcher.
Tanner Thatch as they go lefty-lefty.
Yeah, I think that was why the switch was made now.
The 0-2 is Thatch. Sends this one to center field. Maldonado drifting. He's at the wall. He's at the track. He watches it go over. Tanner Thatch fired up opposite field as that ball travels 403, 104 off the bat for Tanner Thatch. A 2-run home run. His 11th of the season, RBIs 44 and 45. And he's got a few words for the Northeastern dugout as he crosses home plate.
Yeah, he's saying, what, you think I can't hit lefties? Maybe saying a little bit more than that too. But yeah, he had been heating up his bat for a while, and that was really the one thing left to do for Tanner Thatch, who gets his 53rd career home run. And again, you know, lefty-lefty sounds good on paper, but if you're a hitter that's that locked in, doesn't really matter who you're facing.
That's just the 3rd home run on the season given up by Jack Bowery. And this UNCW team offensively coming alive here in the second half of game number 9 against Charleston, and now early on here against Northeastern.
You're right about that, Mike, that Bowery does not give up a lot of home runs. He'd given up 2, and that was both in the same game against Stony Brook. Game that Northeastern won 13-5, by the way. But yeah, other than that, Bowery is just not giving up a lot of long balls.
And back-to-back base hits as Brian Arndt will round first base heading into second, and it'll be a stand-up double for Arndt. As the 2-run shot with 2 outs, and now a 2-out double as Brian Arndt continues his hot hitting. That's his 2nd double of the game, Luke.
Yeah, he's gotten 3 doubles now in the last 2 games. He just continues to be unconscious at the plate. You know, for a moment, I think he was thinking about a triple there when he saw the way that ball bounced off the wall, but he'll be happy to settle for 2. And how about the 2-out hitting by UNC Wilmington, which is a big part of their game, and boy, is it coming through here in the 5th.
Arndt now with 2 home runs and 3 doubles in the tournament for the Seahawks, as Aiden Evans with 2 outs takes strike 1.
Coach Mike Glavin has given himself open to second guessing a little bit with the pitching change he's made this inning. As you know, Cabral he did give up the home run, and he had given up a few hard hits, but you could make the argument he was settling in, and that's what he'd done all year. But Coach Glavin decided to be aggressive, and at least in this inning, it backfires.
The 1-1 misses low and outside. 2-1 now to Evans. Outfield shaded for Evans to go the other way as the center fielder Maldonado plays a little bit right of center as Evans swings through that one. 2-2.
And you mentioned earlier, Mike, that Coach Glavin had said they hadn't had a lot of come-from-behind victories, and they have not had a single deficit this large within their 26-game winning streak. The largest one was 3, and even though that was a first-inning deficit.
Strike 3 on the inside corner. Took a couple of batters, but Jack Bowery gets the final out of the inning, but not before. A 2-run home run by Tanner Thatch puts the Seahawks up by a score of 5-1. Halfway home here at Patriots Point. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th coming up here in the CAA Baseball Championship as UNCW leads 5-1. And folks, don't forget, coming up at the end of the game, the Jersey Mike sub-above play of the game. Could it be that 2-run home run from Tanner Thatch we just saw? Or perhaps Northeastern mounts a comeback and they get a big hit that ends up being the Jersey Mike's sub-above play of the game. Only one way to find out, right, Luke? Stick around.
Yeah, we don't know yet. I mean, last game we had what we thought was our potential play of the game change about 5 different times with the craziness of that game. You know, same with the College of Charleston Campbell one. We've had a number of crazy games where, you know, there's a good chance it hasn't happened yet. On the other hand, UNCW, again, good team at holding leads. And Aubrey Smith has just been everything that UNCW could have hoped for today. Only allowed 3 hits, the one big mistake, which was a home run. As he has gotten through 4 innings, and now we'll try to give him a little more.
This will be Gregory Bozzo to lead things off for Northeastern. The catcher hitting .243 on the season, but a .293 hitter when leading off.
So now Northeastern's in an interesting spot because in the back of their minds they know that, you know, they have another chance tomorrow. But I think that they have a lot of pride in this winning streak and their ranking, that they're not just going to go down quietly in this one.
That was pitch number 60 for Aubrey Smith.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that Smith would have a chance to outlast Avon Cabral, but here he is pitching in his 5th inning.
Got a chance to be the pitcher of record if he can get through this inning. As Bozzo pulls that one foul and out of play.
Gregory Bozzo, who does not have a home run yet this year. Trying to get into one there. Doesn't have a home run this year. He did have 9 a year ago.
And he won't pick up one there as he swings through it. The strikeout of Bozzo will be number 3 on the day for Aubrey Smith.
Yeah, Aubrey Smith, only a few strikeouts, but, you know, just those 3 strikeouts, he's looked very good in them. And he continues to just get the job done.
You know, just collecting outs out there, Luke. Scattered 3 hits, the 1 solo home run. Other than that, just a bunch of outs. As he starts out Alex Lane with a breaking ball that catches in the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, Lane did reach base the last time, but it was on that error. Trying to build off of that long ball he had yesterday.
On the ground to third, Lucas will scoop it up, fire across the diamond in time, 2 away.
Yeah, that time Lucas recognizing he had plenty of time and not going to undersell the throw again.
Aubrey Smith not taking any chances, just laying down on the mound. staying out of the way of any throw. Didn't want to shield his third baseman. Make sure he had a clean lane to get over to first base. Jack Doyle now, 0 for 1. Steps in with 2 away, nobody on.
I mean, Smith debatably getting stronger as he's going on, as he has a chance to get his quickest and easiest inning of the game.
Yeah, I don't think there's any debating it. He's retired 5 in a row. That's his longest retired streak since going back to the first and second innings, where after he gave up the leadoff single to Garrett, he retired the next 6 Husky batters he faced. So trying to match that here. Chopper over to short. Jones fires across in time, and that will be 6 in a row for Aubrey Smith. We'll be right back. Top of the 6 up next. Kevin Jones, Alec DiMartino, and Mason Hughes due up for the Seahawks. Here in the top of the 6th is UNCW hanging on to a 5-1 lead. They've got 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base for Northeastern. The 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. They've left 2 on base.
But a couple stories of the game today. One is the pitching in the rare start but needed one for Aubrey Smith, and the other is these UNCW bats. 7 hits, 6 of them for extra bases, 2 of them home runs. That is nearly been unheard of against this Northeastern team the past couple months.
And we can close the book on Avon Cabral officially now, as he went 4 2/3, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts as he threw 77 pitches. As Jack Bowery will start his first clean inning of relief, as Kevin Jones quickly with a 1-1 count.
And he was all over Avon Cabral today, a home run and a double.
And he'll keep it going with a hard hit ball here, but Maldonado able to slide in and make the grab. 1 away.
Yeah, Jones, just the first time he's been retired today. I mean, that first home run he hit, that was to deep left. He just launched it. And even the second one he hit, off the bat, I thought it had a chance to go. Ended up being a ground rule double.
Now Alec DiMartino takes a strike at the knees. DiMartino 1 for 2 today. It's really been the middle of this lineup for for Wilmington that has gotten things going here early in the ball game. As the combination of Arndt, Evans, Jones, and DiMartino really opened things up in the second. Jones kept it going with the double in the 4th.
Yeah, DiMartino had his double down the little bouncer down the left field line.
Chopper, be a tough play for the shortstop. The cannon from Goodman gets the speedy DiMartino for out number 2. What a play.
Yeah, what a play from Goodman that was. Northeastern, who's been very good, very airtight in the field this series. I mean, that play just has to be made so quickly, both the range and the arm strength right there of Jack Goodman.
Half a step there. If he fumbles that ball on the transfer in any way, shape, or form, that's a base hit. As Mason Hughes steps in, 0 for 2. Hughes checks his swing, a ball called 1-0.
Huskies are in need of a quick inning here to try to get some momentum back on their side, as right now it's been a Seahawks fan party so far. Not a ton for the Northeastern fans to cheer about.
Swung on and missed. Count now 1-1. Strike called at the bottom of the zone as the count now 1-2. Outfield, we're going to go ahead and call it straight away as Maldonado shaded just to the right of center, but that's kind of where he's played all game long. As the infield is straight up, that pitch misses outside 2-2.
Yeah, not as heavy shifts in the game between these two teams as we've seen with some of the others, as both these teams, pretty good hitters to all the fields.
Does that one hit him? It does.
Now, so Northeastern can't get the quick 1-2-3 inning. Mason Hughes, who hadn't gotten on base yet this tournament, is hit by a 1-2 pitch, and that keeps the inning going.
Nice job by the marketing team here at the College of Charleston to make the smart move of playing Return of the Mac with Matt Gillespie coming up every time as his walk-up song.
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty sure that the players have been able to submit their own walk-up songs to the tournament. I actually kind of like how they've done it here, rather than just being all neutral. They gave everybody kind of a little home team feel, I think.
Yeah, they've played the hype videos for all 6 teams before the start of their individual games. They didn't play all 6, but you know what I'm saying. They played each team's hype video as their game was played. And it's been a good tournament put on by the College of Charleston here in Mount Pleasant. And by the CAA as well, as that ball gets away, but Bazo quick to recover. And it was a little bit of a late read by Hughes, so he has to stay put.
I do really have a thing. I like when guys have walk-up songs that have to do or play on their names. It's always fun.
We'll be waiting on that hit from Gerasati or something with that.
Yeah, no, that'll be a little hard. That's why I'm a little jealous. No, I'm kidding. I like my name.
There's the commish of the CAA, Joey D. Been taking in all the baseball games this week. Even did a little practice time with a couple of the teams, shagged some fly balls out in the outfield.
Yeah, Mike, now you were there watching it. How did he do shagging those fly balls?
I mean, didn't miss a one.
Wow.
Like a consummate pro in the field and in the office. That is a swing and a miss, a 1-2 count. I mean, looked like he could put the uniform on and just join the guys in the dugout right now.
That's what you like from the commish.
And multi-talented. He has sung the
That's right.
7th inning stretch a handful of times here this week. And getting word that he's going to do it again here tonight. A encore performance, if you will. So stay tuned an inning and a half from now. This one on the ground, fouled down the first baseline.
Northeastern, they've just hit so many 2-strike foul balls now. They are just have been really good at bats. As the number of times they're striking out just seems to get fewer and fewer.
Yeah, they've just been, you said it, 2-strike, plate discipline, protect the plate, and then when you get something out over it, do something with it. As Gillespie fouls off yet another pitch.
And even this inning threatening to be a quick one with Mason Hughes having 2 strikes on him. He gets hit by a pitch, and now Matt Gillespie turns it into a battle.
The 2-2. Off speed, misses outside, and that'll run the count full. And talking to Coach Hood, he said it. Can't rely on our pitching if we want to win this tournament. Got to put pressure on the other team. Make them make moves on the mound. Put pressure on the defense, as this one's out to right field. Charging in is Garrity. He'll make the grab for the final out of the inning. Jack Bowery pitches around to hit by pitch. We'll move to the bottom of the sixth when we come back.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's freshly grilled cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's pepperoni and melted cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's freshly grilled cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's pepperoni and melted cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
A 5-1 Seahawks lead as we move to the bottom of the sixth. And Luke, Aubrey Smith still out on the mound for the Seahawks as he has been just nearly perfect for the Seahawks. Just his second start of the season. When did you say his last start was?
I mean, the last start he made this year was back against Charleston Southern. That was on March the 25th, almost exactly 2 months ago from today.
2 months ago, and he's just thrown 5 innings of 3-hit ball. You know, the one hit was a home run, no walks, 3 strikeouts against the number 19 team in the nation. You talk about rising to the occasion. Aubrey Smith stepped up on the mound, said, "Coach, give me the ball," and he has put the team on his shoulders when they have been out in the field.
Well, we've seen so many players just rise to the occasion this tournament, and just so impressive by all these young men.
This will be Ryan Garrity to lead things off. Garrity 2 for 2 today. He's been the one bad spot for Smith as he is yet to retire Garrity.
And if you're Northeastern right now, you got to figure, or you got to be feeling that this is your shot to come back. You got a pitcher who's not used to being out this long, and you got your top of the lineup up.
A good look at Smith as he comes set on the mound. The 1-1. It's a strike at the bottom of the zone. Fastball still at 93 from Smith.
I mean, he was used as a great reliever this year, but you get the feeling that if they wanted to, UNCW could have used him as a starter.
This one out to left field. Coming in is Wills. He'll make the grab. 1 out here in the home half. That's now 7 straight batters retired by Aubrey Smith as Cam Maldonado comes to the plate. Maldonado 0 for 2 today.
And I gave up the home run, talking about Aubrey Smith, and thought maybe he was going to start to get knocked around. Instead, he responds with his best stretch of the game. And Cam Maldonado hasn't had the greatest game, especially for a player like him, over 2 in that questionable caught stealing.
That's down the first base line for a base hit. He'll round first base, heading into second. The throw to second won't be in time as Jones will hold the tag on Maldonado, but Maldonado stays on the base. It'll be a 1-out double as Maldonado improves to 1 for 3 on the day.
Well, that's what Northeastern needed. Just their 3rd hit of the game, 2nd for extra bases by one of their top 3 guys who hadn't yet gotten it going this game, but now he does. And now Harrison Feinberg, fresh off that home run, UNCW. This would be a chance maybe to get him out, but it doesn't look like they're going to do it. And they're going to let him face Feinberg one more time. I think having the 4-run lead helps a little bit here.
Oh, without a doubt, as Feinberg puts a charge into one. He stands at the plate, watches it flips the bat, and it sails over the wall. Harrison Feinberg, back-to-back home runs for him as Northeastern cuts the lead to 2. A 2-run shot here in the bottom of the 6th. The home run by Feinberg, 107 off the bat, 398 feet to left center field.
Well, if you like the long ball, I mean, this game has been for you. Really, this whole tournament has. But every run this game coming on a home run, and Harrison Feinberg just absolutely knew he got that one. And again, maybe a little bit of a gamble, but I understand why they did it with the state of their staff and how Aubrey Smith had been pitching. And, sometimes, you don't expect a guy to get 2 home runs in a row, but Harrison Feinberg says, I'll home run 2 straight pitches. That's what I'll do.
Pitch number 73 in for a strike is Jack Goodman, 0 for 2 today. A fly out to left, a fly out to center.
Yeah, Goodman's hit the ball decently, just hasn't been able to get one to fall in. It's the top 2 hitters for Northeastern. To pick them up off the mat here a little bit. And we'll see if the rest of the team can feed off of that. Goodman 0-2 in the count.
Swung on and missed as Goodman is retired. That is strikeout number 4 for Aubrey Smith. Out number 2 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Aubrey Smith still a little bit more left in the tank. Picks up his 4th strikeout of the game.
Carlos Muzakia 0 for 2 today. Fly out to center and a ground out to short. His time at the plate so far today.
Now Muzakia, who had a slow start to last game and then finally had that walk-off homer. I mean, he's not a guy you would come in and think of as a power hitter, but he's had 2 homers in this tournament.
Lifts this one out into center field. Gillespie makes the grab for the final out of the inning. A 2-run home run by Harrison Feinberg, his 2nd home run of the game. A no-doubter. A little bit of a bat flip there, helicopter style, as Northeastern fans celebrate. It's a 5-3 game as we head to the 7th. The CAA Baseball Championship is brought to you by High Yield Checking from Credit Union 1. Open an account at cu1.com/high-yield-checking. Federally insured by NCUA. Mike Ward, Luke Gerasati. As we move to the top of the 7th, Brock Wills will lead things off for the Seahawks. And the first pitch back up the middle, played perfectly by Goodman. The throw to first in time, 1 away.
Yeah, off the bat looked like a base hit there, but look at where Northeastern was shifted, and Goodman didn't even have to move.
Luke, I was thinking it, but didn't want to bring it up. But after the 2-run home run by Harrison Feinberg, I'm going to say it. College of Charleston was up 5-1. UNCW came back and ended up winning it 6-5. Here, UNCW up 5-1. And now it looks like Northeastern might mount a comeback. Can Northeastern come from behind and beat UNCW after they led 5-1 and the game before coming back from the 5-1 deficit?
I mean, that would be some kind of a reversal of fortune for UNCW and just kind of show the duality of the game. But definitely possible. I mean, this Northeastern team, even though they're not used to coming from behind, they're not just going to give up their 26-game winning streak that easy.
No, they're not. And University, the UNCW team does not want to give up their streak of 2
That's true.
CAA championships won in the last 2 years. This is a UNCW team that has been in 9 of the last 10 CAA championship games. The only one they missed was in 2022.
Yeah, and that was Northeastern against Hofstra, so that means one of these two teams has been in every one in the last 10 years.
Yep. As Trevor Lucas fouls one off, the count will stay 1-2. A reminder, folks, don't go anywhere at the conclusion of this half inning. A special guest out on the concourse to sing the 7th inning stretch, the commissioner of the CAA, Joey D, will be bringing it live to you in between innings. Definitely not a time to go take a bathroom break or go pop a new bag of popcorn. You want to stay glued to your seats.
Yeah, and if you're at home, keep watching too, because I think we're going to have it on here.
We are. That's why I was bringing it up. Ground out to short for 2 away now.
Like
as Tanner Thatch comes to the plate after a 2-run home run back in the 5th. Thatch 1 for 3 on the night. You see Joey D getting ready with Ken Carrington, the PA announcer here at the College of Charleston.
Let's give a shout out to Ken Carrington. I mean, he does this, every year we have it here in Charleston. Does the minor league Charleston River Dogs. He's one of the best in the business as the PA announcer.
Tanner Thatch takes a strike 0-1.
Thatch, this game started 0-2, but then got that home run last time up that it felt like he was due for. He's facing now for a second time Jack Bowery.
Tell you, Bowery came in and got a little roughed up to start his relief appearance, but has since settled in. 1 hit by pitch, but he's retired 5 of the last 6 batters he's faced.
Hey, give him credit.
That one low in the zone, 1-2.
But they tried to do the lefty-lefty matchup with Thatch at the plate. Try to see if they can have any more success with it this time.
The 2-1 misses outside. Now they count 3 balls and 1 strike is the breaking ball from Bowery. Just can't get Thatch to chase. This one out to center field. Long run for Maldonado. He's looking up again, and that ball is gone. Tanner Thatch and Harrison Feinberg putting on a show here as Thatch goes yard with 2 strikes. He tells the fans, come on, bring it on. Let's go. Team, hop on my back. I gotcha. 107 off the back, 407 over the fence. A solo shot for Thatch.
And these are 2 teams, the 2 top teams in the conference, and their 2 best hitters right now are trading haymakers. I mean, it's like almost like watching a basketball game here.
Oh, it's more like watching a heavyweight bout with these
that.
2 number 3 hitters in the lineup. Is now a 2-for-4 night for Tanner Thatch, and he's got 2 long balls to almost the same spot, opposite field shots that have traveled over the left center field wall.
We've seen a few multi-home run games already in this tournament. Campbell had 3 in the same game. They had 3 different guys hit 2 home runs in the same game against Charleston, and still lost that game, which I don't know if we checked that, but we believe that that's the only time probably that's ever happened.
Yeah, that's a pretty specific stat to check. I don't know that we've had time with the chaos of what a tournament is. That's a hey, let's figure that one out for the record book, and we'll do that next week.
I think that's when you can almost assume. And how often, even one guy on each team having 2 home runs in a game is always special, but 3 different players for Campbell in the same game did that. And for both times in this game, for Thatch, it's been off the same pitcher. Same story with Feinberg.
Brian Arndt, 2 for 3 today. Both of his base hits doubles. Swings through the 1-0, makes it 1-1.
Tell you what, next time Tanner Thatch is up, I might make sure I don't have a lefty pitching because it seems like he's hitting them better than anybody now.
You are correct, Luke. I imagine this might be the last inning for Jack Bowery, but we'll see. Everybody's been stretching out their pitchers here this week, trying to get the most out of what they can, and with Northeastern trailing now 6-3.
I think what's helped Tanner Thatch get hot too is that he started to get very good protection as teams have started to become very afraid of Brian Arndt.
You are correct. The 2 long balls, 3 doubles. That is now a 2-2 count to Arndt, and he meaning Thatch, really kind of got it dialed in. He started with a single, a hit by pitch, a double, another single against Charleston, and that's carried over into this game as he's hit the ball well, a couple of home runs, as Arndt goes down swinging for the final out of the inning, but not before a solo home run by Tanner Thatch.
Don't go anywhere now.
Correct, Luke. Don't go anywhere. We've got our special guest coming to you right here at Patriots Point as the commissioner of the CAA gets set to perform the 7th inning stretch.
Join in. CAA.
Look, Elsie is a role player. She cannot lead a team.
Her handles ain't that good. I'm literally look. You almost ripped her right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it.
She's a good piece. If Plum is your number 1 option, then you're not winning anything major.
What do you say to those that say you can't shoot a 3 that save your life?
Do it again, though. She can barely hold the ball. But I'm just not sold on her.
She can't make that.
She's cooking.
Apologize. I ain't gonna lie. She nice.
Well, she is in the WNBA, so she gonna hit a few shots. She a problem for real.
6-3 ball game here at Patriots Point, Luke, and as you glance up at the box score, the Huskies with a run in the bottom of the 4th. The Seahawks answered with 2 in the top of the 5th. 2 runs for the Huskies in the bottom of the 6th, and now the Seahawks have answered with 1 run in the 7th. It's been tough for the Huskies as a ball over to second base, fielded by Evans, and 1 away.
And Aubrey Smith pitching in absolutely unprecedented territory for him. His 7th inning of work, and he's at a relatively low pitch count. There's no hurry right now to pull him if he keeps getting almost everybody out. One thing for Northeastern, they have got to get something from somebody who isn't one of their top 3 hitters, as the rest of their lineup is a combined 0 for 15 today.
Coach Glavin would love to see the heart of this team, the energy provider, sets the tone in the dugout and on the field. Gregory Bazzo, 0 for 2 today. He struck out twice. Ball's behind 0-1 here. Swings through that one as he has been fooled by Aubrey Smith all day today.
Aubrey Smith, other than the 2 home runs, has just been incredible. Up to 6 strikeouts now, so even saying how he hadn't had that many, he kind of climbed that number up. And only 1 walk, which is the most impressive thing. I mean, this Northeastern team has been able to take teams that have good pitching staffs and, fight them and battle them so much that they end up getting the free passes. Not today.
The 1-2 to Vazo. He'll swing through it. He has struck out 3 times today now, and that is strikeout number 5 for Aubrey Smith.
And yeah, Vazo just not having the best day at the plate as Smith has had his number. And actually, I want to correct myself. It's UNCW that's had 1 walk at the plate. Northeastern at the plate has not had any walks, so no walks issued by Aubrey Smith today.
Yeah, he's been lights out so far as Alex Lane. 0 for 2 today. He reached on an error in the 3rd, a ground out in the 5th. The exception of Maldonado and Feinberg, Aubrey Smith has had the Huskies' number.
Yeah, I mean, this bottom 6 in the order got to do something for Northeastern.
And Northeastern starting to run out of outs. We know they can put up big numbers. We saw a 7 spot against the same UNCW team in the 8th inning, but they were ahead in that one and were looking for insurance and did more than get insurance. They won the game.
Yeah, and other than Feinberg, nobody really showing that, clutch instinct to be able to hit from and play from behind. Right now, a lot of these Northeastern hitters maybe playing a little tight at the plate.
Alex Lane was 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI coming from a solo home run in the 6th inning against UNCW last night, as there's strike 3 on the inner half, and Lane didn't like it. He's saying it was well inside, and a quick check of TrackMan says he's right. It was about a ball or 2 inside, and he says that's 2 of them as he's heading back to the dugout. That will be strikeout number 6 for Aubrey Smith as we head to the top of the 8th when we come back. The CAA Baseball Championship is brought to you by SoldOut.com, the official ticket resale marketplace of the CAA. And Luke, as it stands right now, you might need to hop on SoldOut.com and see if you can lock up some tickets for tomorrow's as-needed game, because UNCW leading 6-3. Looking for a little bit of insurance here in the top of the 8th, as it'll be Aiden Evans set to lead things off for the Seahawks.
They certainly want to push this one more day, and I think that they kind of got the feeling that everybody after last night's game was ready to already crown Northeastern, and they're saying, hold up, we're still the 2-time defending champs. We're not done till we lose twice, and we're going to show that.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. It looked like Charleston was going to put UNCW away, be a Cinderella story perhaps. But instead, UNCW fought back and said, no, let's go get another title perhaps.
UNCW down by 4 and then eventually 3 outs away from being eliminated.
This one on the ground to short. Goodman fires across the diamond in time. 1 away.
So it still is Jack Bowery, and Northeastern now, if you're them, you do have to pitch with an eye a little bit toward tomorrow, where you're trying to win this game, but really that's going to come from the lineup more than anything.
100%. I mean, the pitching staff for Northeastern has done a fairly decent job. A couple of miscues here and there, been taken advantage of by the long ball, but outside of that, and just no help at the plate other than Harrison Feinberg.
Yeah, and certainly 6 runs is more than you usually give up if you're Northeastern, but you expect to be able to score that many every game, and they pretty much do.
The 0-2 to Kevin Jones. He's 2 for 3 today. Couple of extra base hits, a 3-run home run that got UNCW going early. A double in the 4th, a fly out to center. Very reminiscent to this right here in the 6th is Maldonado. Able to track that one down with ease for out number 2.
Yeah, he's just getting that, starting to show a little power as he's getting that ball out to center now is Kevin Jones. But Northeastern a chance at a 1-2-3 inning here, something they haven't had a lot of. Even last inning, the bottom of the order really battled against Bowery and prevented him from getting that quick inning like he wanted.
A 1-2-3 inning in the 1st and the 3rd for Northeastern is seeing a couple of those just a bit outside pitches from Jack Bowery.
And talking about Northeastern's offense, the last time that they did not score 6 runs in a game was 9 games ago. Actually had a 1-0 win against William and Mary. That was one of the few games in their streak they actually got close to losing, because that was tied 0-0 after 8 on the road. And they did some 9th inning heroics in that one.
Alec DiMartino takes a couple of pitches for balls, 2-0 the count. DiMartino 1 for 3 today, a double in his first at bat, a strikeout and a ground out his other 2 times up. 2-1, a strike over the outside corner. 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, Northeastern right now just showing, or excuse me, UNCW showing big power at the plate that Northeastern hasn't gone up against in a while.
This on the ground to short, Goodman. Up and across the diamond, a 1-2-3 inning for Northeastern. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th when we come back. Look at this, Luke. It is a family affair here in Mount Pleasant. Everybody coming out to watch the CAA baseball championships. And in between innings, you got to find something to occupy yourself in between innings, right?
Yeah.
When the action's not going on the field, you got to make it happen in the stands.
Looks like that little girl was trying to share her red crayon with somebody. How nice.
Obviously a Northeastern fan using the red crayon, saying, hey, this is the color you need to have. But right now it's the Seahawks with their teal and navy that are in control. a 6-3 lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th. And a little bit of work for Northeastern to do if they want to get back in this one. Trailing by 3, they're down to their last 6 outs. Obviously, here in the 8th inning, last night we saw them put up 7 runs. Right now, UNCW with the momentum is Jack Doyle set to lead things off. First pitch, swinging, a base knock as Aubrey Smith is out to start his 8th inning of work. And Doyle comes through with his first hit of the night.
And this guy is incredible. I don't know what he is. Something about the way he comes out of the dugout after an inning ends, but he's hitting .515 when leading off of an inning. And that's all Northeastern needed to get somebody else going. And now they are in position. If they can get a couple guys on, they can have Feinberg as the tying or even go-ahead run.
Doyle 15 for 18 on the season in stolen bases as Ryan Garrity steps to the plate. He's 2 for 3 today as there's a strike over the heart of the plate at 92 from Aubrey Smith.
I'm not expecting a stolen base here for Northeastern. You need base runners, and they've been pretty good at avoiding double plays anyway with their speed. So I'm not expecting to see it here.
That'll skip through, and Arndt can't find it, able to locate it on a second pass back across the plate.
And still Aubrey Smith, and it's, we were talking, Mike, about it. Is it possible that he could go a complete game? And he is going to be up to actually 89 pitches on this next one.
Middle infield, a double play depth for the Seahawks. Outfield straight away. This one launched into right field, but foul. Garrity out in front. That'll be just a long strike, 1-2 the count.
Well, Ryan Garrity, remember, he did something really impressive yesterday. Taking Connor Marshburn, who had the nation's lowest slugging percentage against and had only given up 1 home run all year. And Ryan Garrity homered to dead center against him to put Northeastern up 1-0 and set the tone for that game.
The 1-2 misses upstairs, evens it up 2-2.
So Garrity, a little bit of pop, but good doubles hitter, good speed guy.
Yeah, finished yesterday 2 for 3 with 2 runs and scored and 2 runs driven in. I'll throw over to check on Doyle, who easily back into the bag, head first.
He's also gotten on base his first time up every time in this tournament, so he's done his job as a leadoff hitter.
Another throw over as Doyle in ahead of the tag, a 2-2 count with no outs.
Looks like somebody's up in the UNCW bullpen starting to throw, but it's tough to see from here.
Another foul ball by Garrity. He knows how to work a count. It was a nice pitch by Smith. Challenged Garrity, went 93 up in the zone. Garrity able to elevate with his swing and get a piece of it as he spoils a nice pitch from Aubrey Smith. The 2-2. Another foul ball is Smith and Garrity going best on best right here. That was another 93-mile-an-hour fastball in the same spot.
Yeah, Garrity right now just refusing to go down. Now, this game has extended a hitting streak of multiple hit games in all 3 games this tournament. He is locked in this week.
The 2-2 out to left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Station by station, UNCW giving up back-to-back base knocks as Northeastern has runners on first and second, nobody out. Their best scoring opportunity since they plated 2 in the 6th inning.
Yeah, been a couple of one clean inning in the bottom of the 7th for UNCW, and for Northeastern, you started to wonder if they were really going to run out of chances, but I think we both kind of knew, Mike, that they were not going to go this quietly with their streak. They were going to have at least one more shot. And we'll see what the Seahawks decide to do now, and that, I think, might do it.
Yeah, they haven't made the call to the bullpen yet as head coach Randy Hood
out
of the dugout to talk to his now starter for tonight, Aubrey Smith. 93 pitches on the evening for Smith as he's given up back-to-back base hits, and Coach Hood will make the call to the bullpen. So we will step aside and introduce you to the new pitcher for the Seahawks when we come back. That'll do it for Aubrey Smith. He goes 7 innings, 7 hits. So far, 3 runs as he struck out 6 Huskies. And it was an amazing start for a guy who had only started one other game this season, most of his time out of the bullpen for UNCW. He gets the job done today. You see the line. Can't officially close the book on him, though, as he will be responsible for the 2 runners on. As he turns it over to number 11, Connor Kane, the hometown product, the junior out of Wilmington, North Carolina. 6 foot, 180 on the mound for Kane. This will be appearance number 8 of the year. No wins, no losses, a 4.91 ERA in 7 1/3 innings. He's given up 10 hits, 4 earned run. He's walked 5 and struck out 5. Opposing batters hitting .357 off of him, and he will come into a tight spot, a little high leverage situation for him.
Connor Kane's a really interesting story because he was a big part of this bullpen for the last couple of years, but he's had kind of a reduced role this year, just 7 appearances, 7 1/3 innings. But all that doesn't matter because right now UNCW is going to him with their season on the line.
And with 2 on and nobody out, and the 2 to 3 to the 4 coming up in Maldonado, Feinberg, and Goodman. Maldonado 1 for 3 his time at the plate today. A double his last time up. The breaking ball misses upstairs. It's 79, 1-0 the count.
Well, for Connor Kane, who has not pitched since May the 3rd, not exactly the easiest spot to put him into. I mean, runners on first and second in the heart of the order of the team that's won 26 in a row.
Another breaking ball. That one will catch the inside corner. 1-1 the count.
Maldonado had a slow start to today, but got that double down the right field line last time. Set up Feinberg. He's got some power himself. Hasn't yet gone yard in this tournament.
High and tight. A .371 hitter on the season. That average up to .424 with runners in scoring position. As he has 59 RBI. You see Harrison Feinberg on deck already with 2 home runs in the ballgame. Maldonado represents the tying run. Now with a 3-ball-to-1 strike count.
Yeah, that pitch got a few groans. I thought that one was pretty outside, but
it was. I think the groans were more that it was another ball.
Yeah.
A 3-1 breaking ball for a strike. And now a full count to Maldonado.
Yeah, Maldonado, that might have been a good one to hit, but
Northeastern fans on the edge of their seat as Maldonado gets hit, and he will head down to first base.
Well, he's still holding that left arm as he's somebody's got to check on him.
And he's trying to get his gear off, but still in some pain.
Yeah, that one hit him right on the forearm.
As Coach Glavin over, along with the athletic trainer, the aforementioned Kate Shimoda.
Yeah, now you're going to get a replay of the hit right here. Yeah.
Oh, right on the bottom of the hand, the wrist. There's not a lot of padding there. That's tough.
Yeah, because he had the little kind of wristband pad around the forearm, but it got past that, the one little unguarded spot. But he shakes it off after being checked out. And now the bases, this is almost too perfect. The bases loaded, nobody out, and the go-ahead run is the great Harrison Feinberg. 4 home runs already in this postseason.
First pitch swinging out to right center field. He delivers. This will split the outfielders all the way to the wall. 1 run comes home. 2 runs come home. They'll send the 3rd runner, and it will be a bases-clearing double for Harrison Feinberg. We're tied at 6 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Northeastern has now matched UNCW 6 runs. Harrison Feinberg has driven in every single one of them. The CAA Player of the Year, who's already had an amazing season, is now having his best game of the season as he is trying to put the team on his back and carry them to the finish line.
He's saying, boys, load up. I gotcha. I don't even need a backpack. Just pile on these broad shoulders that I can jack balls anywhere in the yard. 2 home runs, a double, 6 runs batted in, and the co-CAA Player of the Year making his case to be the CAA Player of the Tournament.
I think that right now he's got an excellent case to be, as you know, as you said, Mike, I think in a more literal sense, said, hey, teammates, get on base. I'll drive you in when I'm up. And that's exactly what they did. Loaded the bases. And Feinberg, the 3 spot, not the stereotypical cleanup spot, but with Jack Doyle leading off the inning. Feinberg played the role of cleanup this inning and did it perfectly.
Now this is an interesting move here. Coach Hood out to talk to the umpire. Generally when that happens, you're bringing a guy in from a position to the mound, and you're going to lose the DH, but I don't know what's going on here. Is there is somebody ready in the bullpen? And no, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Brian Arndt, the catcher, going to head to the dugout and trade the tools of ignorance for a pitching mitt, and he's going to climb atop of the mound. We'll explain it all to you when we come back. We're going to step aside. We'll be back. Welcome back in as Brian Arndt will get checked out by the umpires as he will take the mound for Arndt. This will be his 6th appearance of the season. No wins, no losses, an ERA of 1.93. In 4 2/3 innings, he's given up 5 hits, 1 run that was earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Opposing batters hitting .278 off of him on the mound, and taking over behind the plate will be number 34. That is going to be Martin Zelenka, the catcher, a senior out of the Czech Republic. Comes to UNCW via Charlotte and Pitt Community College.
Well, Brian Arndt, I mean, talk about Harrison Feinberg making a case to be player of the tournament, but Brian Arndt, he's already done so much at the plate, 5 extra base hits, driving in runs. If he can ever show off his other skill, which is pitching on the mound, and hold Northeastern to 6, and if UNCW can find a way to win this game, Brian Arndt will be about as valuable as anybody on this field. And he's pitched well this year, even in limited time. He hasn't given up a run his last 4 times out. Last time he pitched was May 6th, so he's actually pitched more recently than Connor Kane has. But just 1 inning then, and usually just goes about 1 inning. Try to see if he can get at least 3 outs here.
Yeah, again, no outs here. And Northeastern will have a runner on second base in Feinberg after the bases clearing double. Inning started off with a single by Jack Doyle, another single by Ryan Garrity. A pitching change as Aubrey Smith, after 7 innings of work, was chased. They brought in Connor Kane. He hit Maldonado with a 3-2 count. And then Harrison Feinberg, a double out to right center field as he stands on second with no outs. And Jack Goodman at the plate. Goodman 0 for 3 today. Chance to drive in the go-ahead run as that ball misses down in the zone. 1-0 the count. The fastball at 96.
And you know that now the book is closed on Aubrey Smith, and his line does not, I think, indicate how well he pitched, which is 7 innings, 5 earned runs. But if you watch this game, I mean, he was, doing an amazing job at holding down this Northeastern lineup.
Back up the middle, the shortstop Jones literally kicks it around as Evans scoops it up, and safe at first will be Goodman. Feinberg over to third on the play, as now the go-ahead run 90 feet away from home plate.
Well, Kevin Jones, as well as he's played defensively, he has made a few miscues. This one could potentially be a really costly one. Now, Northeastern, they were going to have a runner on third with 1 out anyway, so it was going to be tough to stop him from scoring. Now it becomes twice as tough. As Carmelo Musakia. Again, Northeastern, the one challenge they still have, they need somebody else other than their top 3, and now Doyle at the bottom spot to do something at the plate. But, even a sac fly might do now.
Musakia was the man of the hour last night, as Goodman will move over to second base. I imagine that'll be defensive indifference. As the infield in. No double play available for the Seahawks, or traditional double play. As that pitch misses outside. Well, they will give it a stolen base.
Yeah, I think because that run still matters, and that's still a significant play for taking off the force.
Yep, you're right. The 1-1. Out to left center field. The game's go-ahead run will come home, and right behind him will be another run in Jack Goodman. It's a 2-run lead for Northeastern. They did it last night. They're doing it again tonight. It was 7 in the 8th inning last night, 5 in the 8th here tonight, as they look to make it 27 in a row and try and clinch the CAA baseball championship here tonight.
And they have showed you every reason why they are so good and why they've won so many games. Even facing a deficit and challenges they haven't faced this entire streak, they come up big in the 8th inning again. You can only hold this team down for so long. And as UNCW finally, after a really great run today, might be
that's
right
going to
now
be a
balk as well, as it is starting to unravel for the Seahawks. If you're UNCW now, you probably feel a little deflated, but it's not over. You've had innings where you've scored runs. And you have a chance to have your top of the order come up next inning. But you got to keep it within striking distance here.
Check swing, ball misses outside, 1-0 to Brinker, who was 0 for 3 today. A fly out and a couple of ground outs has been his evening.
I mean, right now for UNCW, they just got to get an out.
Check swing, they'll appeal down to first. They say he does not go around. As this Northeastern crowd that was on the edge of their seats has kind of sat back, taken a deep breath, and they're able to sigh some relief as they have taken a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Still no outs with a runner on third. This one skied into left center field. Fans on their feet as this will be deep enough for a sac fly, make it a 9-6 ball game. The Huskies, who found it tough sledding early in the ball game, have really broken it open here in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, UNCW, they needed the out absolutely, so it's a good play for them, but for the Huskies, they get what they needed to. A 9-6 lead, and they are going to feel like they're in a pretty good spot to close this one out. For UNCW, though, they shouldn't feel out of it yet. They still have a pretty good offense, and they're top of the order coming back up. But they really cannot let this thing get any worse for them.
The catcher, the senior, the heartbeat of this team, as quoted by head coach Mike Glavin. Gregory Bozzo at the plate with a 1-0 count. 0 for 3 today. Looks like it'll be 0 and 4, but he won't care as his team has scored 6 runs here in the bottom of the 8th. He'll head back to the dugout and put on the catcher's gear as there's now 2 away.
Yeah, Northeastern, and you know, they didn't really get that much from the rest of their lineup, but they got just enough. The leadoff hit from Jack Doyle, the go-ahead hit from Musakia. But, I mean, it was their top guys. It was Feinberg, it was Garrity, Maldonado with some key at-bats, too.
9th batter of the inning in Alex Lane, a fly out to the first baseman. Northeastern fans on their feet as they congratulate their team coming onto the field. We'll take a break. UNCW down to their final 3 outs when we come back. A new pitcher on the mound for Northeastern. It'll be number 17, Brett Dunham. We saw Dunham earlier in the series. He came on against UNCW last night, went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts as he threw 22 pitches, as Dunham will be making his 17th appearance of the season. He's 2-0 with 4 saves, a 1.71 ERA in 26 1/3 innings. He's given up 14 hits, 5 earned runs, has struck out 27, walked 6. Opposing batters hitting 151 off of him.
Yeah, Brett Dunham, 4 saves this year, a sub-2 ERA. Came into a tight spot, and you forget the game was a little tight yesterday. Northeastern was up 4-1 when Dunham came in, gave up the first 2 base runners. Remember, that's when Gregory Bozzo was the first guy out to the mound, and the coaches came out there. Dunham settled in, got through the inning, and Northeastern was so pumped up I think they'll be even more pumped up if he can get 3 outs here.
Jack Bowery in line to pick up the win as his team brought him back and gave him the lead. As it looks like it'll be Brian Arndt is the pitcher of record for the Seahawks. Martin Zelenka to lead things off for UNCW. Zelenka hitting .297 on the season. He's got 3 doubles, a home run, 13 runs batted in.
Yeah, so Zelenka coming in after they lose the DH because of the switch. Mason Hughes had this spot. They're probably going to pinch hit here anyway, but Zelenka, what a time for his first at-bat of the series, of the
tournament.
I keep saying series. I'm just used to that.
That's what we're used to, yeah.
We are used to that. Calling all year, and now it changes.
Well, but I mean, it's felt like a series because we've been calling back-to-back games and multiple days. So,
in many ways, it's a 3-game series between these two teams now, with Northeastern up 1-0.
Zelenka swing and a miss, 2-2 the count on the off-speed pitch at 83 by Dunham. Got him to chase on one, tailing away from the box. Another foul ball, 2-2.
Well, UNCW, if they can get a couple base runners, they can get Thatch up one more time, which has got to be the goal.
Regardless of who wins tonight, we will have an on-field interview at the conclusion of the game. If it's Northeastern, it'll be with head coach Mike Glavin. If UNCW finds a way to come back and take a lead and get the win, it'll be with head coach Randy Hood of UNCW. If it is Northeastern that holds on to win after the conclusion of the interview, we'll throw it back upstairs. We'll sign off as there's out number 1, and we'll turn the field mics up so you at home can watch the presentation of the trophy to Northeastern. Now 1 away. That'll bring up the center fielder, Matt Gillespie.
That's a tough start for UNCW. Zelenka swinging at what might have had a chance to be ball 4 there and get that leadoff runner on base, which they desperately needed. Instead, now they'll have to work in an even harder situation, just needing any kind of base runners. Gillespie been clutch all year at points. Can he do it one more time in what might be his last chance? By the way, Mike, I think that Kane might be in line for the loss since he gave up the runner, who ended up being the 7th.
This one through the right side is UNCW not done yet. Gillespie comes through with the base knock.
Well, that's the base runner. They need 2 of them. They've got 1. This is going to set up nicely for UNCW. If they can get 1 more base runner, they could have 2 on, 2 out with Tanner Thatch up. On the other hand, Brock Wills, who has been so good at the plate in this tournament, taking a rare 0 for 4 today.
Right, it will be Kane who's on the hook. This one out to right field. Hit well. Now coming in is Garrity. Foul territory. Makes the grab. Tagging. Thought about tagging and heading to second, but will not, was Gillespie, as Garrity, after an amazing tournament at the plate, puts the exclamation on his tournament by running that one down in foul territory.
Yeah, and a good move there by Gillespie. You don't need to tag. You don't want to make the final out of your season like that. At least give your bats a chance. And Trevor Lucas, another guy who's had a rare 0 for 4 today, usually finds a way to get on base a couple of times in a game.
UNCW down to their final out of the season. Northeastern looking to make it 27 in a row. The 1-0, a called strike, 1-1.
I mean, this hasn't been their most dominant performance by a long shot, but it might be their most impressive if they can finish it off.
The 8th inning has been the favorite of Northeastern here the last 2 nights, as that one's fouled back and out of play. UNCW down to their final strike. Husky fans on their feet here in Mount Pleasant. Patriots Point, home of the 2025 CAA Baseball Championship. The 1-2. Misses outside, 2-2. We'll do it again with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
Well, Lucas trying to show off that on-base percentage of the season. He's gotten on nearly 40 times. He's drawn over 40 walks.
Lucas stays alive, spoils a pitch.
That crowd is the dugout. They are ready to explode. It's always that exciting point in the game.
Phones are out for Northeastern fans recording this moment in time. The 2-2 misses outside, a payoff pitch upcoming. The Seahawks with a chance to bring the tying run to the plate here in the top of the 9th.
And it would be the one they want.
Runner goes. Swung on. Missed. Northeastern wins the CAA championship here in Mount Pleasant as they storm the field. The regular season and tournament champs make it 27 in a row. The number 19 team in the nation. In my opinion, Luke, they're a 2 seed all day long in the tournament coming up.
Yeah, that would be big for them to get to host a game as they, leave no doubt here by winning this tournament without losing a single game, facing some adversity in this one as the UNCW Seahawks showing their championship pedigree. They pushed Northeastern about as far as they've been pushed in a long time, but at the end of the day, Mike, the best team in the CAA is the one standing on the middle of the field as the champions.
The 2 coaching staffs meet behind home plate as these 2 teams know each other well. Coach Hood and Coach Glavin, 2 class acts in this industry, as these 2 staffs know each other very well between the contests that have been played in the CAA Baseball Championship, as both of these teams have been in the championship a lot of times over the last 5-6 years, as the Northeastern Huskies win it by a final of 9-6. 6 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for UNCW. They leave 5 on base for Northeastern. 9 runs on 9 hits, no errors. They leave 2 on base. Is for the second night in a row an explosion in the 8th inning. Last night it was 7 runs in the 8th inning to walk it off in 8. Tonight, in the bottom of the 8th, it was 6 runs for Northeastern as they come from behind and win it again by a final of 9-6. For me, Harrison Feinberg will be the player of the tournament, as highlighted by this Jersey Mike sub above play of the game, and roll the Harrison Feinberg package today as he went 3 for 4, 2 home runs, a solo shot, a 2-run shot, and then what got him back into the game, a bases clearing 3-run double, as Harrison Feinberg would then come around and score the game's go-ahead run on a double by Carmelo Muzakia.
Well, he gets my vote too, absolutely. Harrison Feinberg has been the best player in the CAA all season, and he was the best player this week, and certainly here on this day, driving in 6 runs. With the team in danger of having that winning streak snapped, Harrison Feinberg just said, I will not let that happen.
And it looks like Griffin Della Pena has a excited Harrison Feinberg with him. Thanks, GDP, for that interview with Harrison Feinberg. I know Coach Glavin making his way over to GDP as well, as we'll throw it back down to Griffin as he's got Coach Glavin alongside. Well, Coach Glavin getting the winner's bath as his teammate ambushed him as GDP was trying to conclude the interview, and looks like Griffin's got him back, so we'll try one more time, let Griffin finish his interview with Coach Glavin. No, we're not?
All right.
Okay, we're going to keep it up here. We're being told is we will say thank you for one last time here for Patriots Point this tournament, as the 2025 CAA Baseball Championship will be concluded. We're going to stay live. We're going to turn up the field mics and let the trophy presentation begin. Let those at home, those Northeastern fans still tuned in, watch their team get presented with the CAA tournament champions. For UNCW, their season comes to an end. Their final record, 34-24 on the year. For Northeastern, they will improve to 48-9 on the year. The winning pitcher will be Bowery as he improves to 3-0. Kane picks up the loss as he drops to 0-1. And Dunham picks up his 5th save of the season. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. For Luke Gerasati, I've been Mike Ward. We'll see you next season here on the CAA Flow College.
The CAA would like to thank the fans that have come out this week to show their support for CAA baseball. Also, we extend a special thank you to the College of Charleston for hosting this year's baseball championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field, where Joe D'Antonio, Commissioner of the CAA, will be handing out the awards. First, we would like to recognize the 2025 All-Championship teams. After your name is read, please come forward to receive your trophy. From the College of Charleston, Jake Brink. From UNCW, Aubrey Smith. to St. Chandler. From Northeastern, Ryan Carity. From Northeastern, Jordan Gaddisman. From Northeastern, Carmelo Musacchio. And now, recognized for his outstanding play throughout the championship, the 2025 CAA Baseball Championships Most Outstanding Player, from Northeastern University, Harrison Feinberg. And before awarding the championship trophy this afternoon, the CAA would like to recognize the runner-up in the 2025 CAA Baseball Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give UNCW a round of applause for their outstanding play all year long. And now to the championship trophy presentation. The Coastal Athletic Association congratulates the Huskies of Northeastern University, the 2025 CAA Baseball Champions. Will the team captains come forward to accept the championship trophy on behalf of the school. Thank you for your support of the CAA Baseball Championship. As a reminder, the NCAA Baseball Selection Show is scheduled for Monday, May 26th at noon on an ESPN channel.